Louisiana versus all y'all and TigerDetails.com. Jarrett Roser with 2022 standout from the Neville Tigers. Will Campbell, big offensive lineman, one of the top prospects in the state of Louisiana for the 2022 class, and a big member of this Neville team that is currently the number four seed in the Class 4A playoffs, and gearing up for a semifinal against top seed Carencro with an opportunity to go play for a state championship on the line. Will, how are things going? It's a little bit later in the calendar year than we're used to these playoffs going, but it's crunch time, it's holiday time, it's everything. How are y'all doing up north?
We're good. Everybody's just excited, ready to go down to Lafayette. Hopefully get this big dub on the road and have a good week of practice. Just really excited for the opportunity.
And you guys certainly as a program are used to being in these sort of games. Neville expects to be in semifinals and state championships and all of those things. This year is Coach Jeff Tannehill's first year at the helm, taking the reins from Mickey McCarty, who steps up to be principal. But Coach Tannehill is a Neville guy from years back. He was on staff there and then went over to St. Frederick's and had some success as a head coach and came back to Neville, his alma mater. And so he's always been, as much a Neville guy as anyone could be. What has that transition been like from Coach McCarty to Coach Tannehill, knowing that he's going to try and keep a lot of the same things going, but it is a new face at the top of the program?
It's definitely different. Like you said, just seeing a new face where Coach McCarty was for 2 years. But, Coach Tannehill is first year. So, it's definitely different, like I said, seeing a new face every day. But, it's really been the same concept. He's coached under McCarty, like you said before, and they really have the same type of football mind. So, we're still going to be the same Neville that Neville's always been. We're going to try and run it down your throat, really. That's just kind of how Neville's always been. And I feel like that's how Neville will always be. We have two of the best running backs in the state with A.J. Allen and Timothy Bird. So why not use them as much as we can?
How much fun is that to have guys like that in the backfield that you can go out there as an offensive lineman and block for on a Friday night?
It's super nice. You pancaking somebody, then you look up and they're hurdling people, running 80 yards for a touchdown. So it's really nice. Our offense is full of electric players and people that can run, make people miss. So we're going to try and, use everybody as much as we can this week to, pull out the win against Carencro.
There's a component with any good program of kind of carrying on a certain tradition. And then there's also the dynamic of each year's team is its own team, has its own identity, own leaders, and it is its own entity. For you guys, this 2020 Neville Tigers team that has been through a super weird offseason and super weird start to the season, what stands out about this group that you're a part of that you feel like is kind of where you hang your hat or what the identity of the team is, and how has that enabled you to navigate through some of those curveballs and ups and downs at times?
Like you said, it's been a weird year. So, really everybody's kind of been against the ropes. It's been all the same for everybody. So it's not like we're any different. But, I will say that we did lose a lot of seniors last year. On the O-line, me and our right guard are the only starters coming back. Our defense is really young with playtime wise, not really age, but playtime wise, I feel like we're young. But I feel like we've showed everybody that we can play no matter how young we are or whatever. We had two rough losses back to back. That we feel like we very easily should have won the first one, lost in 4 overtimes, and then just really didn't play that well against West Monroe. But we're young, like I said, so we'll have a lot of people coming back next year. But, like you said, the off season being different, everybody kind of kept everybody, in shape. We all went and worked out together, in gyms, wherever we could find it, in people's backyards, on field, O-line, doing stuff together. Just really everything to keep us going, because we knew eventually in the off season that we were going to line up and play at some point. So we had to be prepared.
And I don't even know if you know this, but I was up in Monroe a couple years ago working for the News Star, and lived right there on 3rd Street and covered Neville, was over there a couple times every week. And that program under Coach McCarty, for all the success that there were some years where there might be a loss or two in the regular season in those type of games, but by the time it became playoff time, those teams were able to kind of hit their stride and still be some of the most successful in the state. When you guys had those stumbles this regular season, what were some of those conversations like to not get down and to kind of realize how much was still ahead of you and the opportunities that were still there?
I feel like after those two losses, the main message to each other was, we're not guaranteed anymore with the way that COVID is working. So these next weeks that we're guaranteed, we got to make them count, just keep playing like how we're supposed to and step it up and be ready each and every week to, get the W. And we felt like we did that all the way up until after those two losses. And we just got to keep improving for the next 2 weeks and get the championship.
For you, what has it been like to have some of the more individual accolades and just kind of player rankings and some of the college offers and stuff fall into place? You're a big, imposing guy out there on the football field and can play nasty, but you're a pretty laid back, chill guy just in general. What's it like to start getting talked about as one of the top prospects in your class and in the state and in the country, and just kind of manage some of that and take it in?
It's cool. It's really what I've always, wanted. I've dreamed of this since, I was a little kid, but, I got to stay humble that's what my parents have always taught me. And I feel like I've done a pretty good job of it, but my main focus is, my team, helping them get better, helping me get better and just improving week after week. And, just really finishing my high school career finishing this year and then next year off with a bang. And then, then that's when that comes into place.
You had some of that big attention start coming your way as an underclassman. When you went into this offseason and were trying to get ready for junior year, what were some of the things that you had in mind that you knew you wanted to work on to continue improving and just kind of, fine-tuning your technical side and working on your body and where you wanted to be physically and any of those sort of aspects? What was kind of the big off-season focus for you, and how have you seen that play out so far this year?
Well, I can say, ever since I started freshman year, I've always been a little bit skinnier. So my goals for the past two off season was obviously to gain weight. And this year, or freshman year, I went from 230 to 265, and now I'm at 285 after the sophomore off season. So, that's my main goal, getting bigger, stronger, and, still being able to keep my, athletic ability and be fast and quick feet, everything like that. I feel like that kind of sets me apart from all these other players. And, my quick feet, quick touch. I'm just as fast as your speed rushing D ends, and I can really kind of hold. I'm going to stand up your big defensive end. So I feel like that's what kind of sets me apart. I'm big and strong and quick.
Yeah, you're 6'6", 285, but like a lean, fit 285 where, it's good weight that you've put on. So you have to feel good out there against anybody that's lined up on the other side.
Yes, sir.
This matchup with Carencro, another team with a lot of proud tradition. You guys have to head down there right after they hang 81 on the number 8 seed Plaquemine. What is kind of the conversation for you guys this week? Not necessarily game plan type stuff, but just in terms of an approach to handling another top team, the top seeded team in this year's playoffs, and knowing that you're just one step away from that ultimate kind of last stage in Natchitoches this year.
We know that Carencro is a great team. They have some great players on offense and defense, and we know that they've scored that many points to send a message. But, we just got to be on our P's and Q's and be ready to go and be ready for a battle Friday night and come out with the win.
What are some things for you? We still have 2 weeks left of this junior season for you, obviously, but as you start to think about, you talk about kind of putting on the weight and getting that much stronger and stuff the last couple off seasons. For you, what are the things now moving forward as you continue to build on your game that you kind of look at and say, all right, these are going to be some things I know I have in focus over these next few months or the last year of high school or whatever?
Really just the same thing. You can always be bigger, stronger, faster. Because, in college, everybody's just as big as each other. It's just really the little things that separate each other. And that could be speed, the little bit more strength you have than somebody, really just anything physicality, everything. So really just improving everything in my game all over and just, keep getting better from every perspective.
And do you have anything in mind yet in terms of any sort of timeline with the colleges or anything like that? Or are you a guy that wants to make sort of an earlier move in the spring and kind of finalize some things? Or are you thinking wait till the end? And I'm sure the COVID dynamic has added some curveballs in that regard as well.
Yeah, it definitely has. I mean, I really, you only really get to experience this stuff once. So, I mean, I kind of want to try and get on some visits in person really instead of virtual visits if that's possible. But, if not, really just whenever I feel like it's best decision for me and I feel like I'm ready.
Sounds good, man. Well, I certainly appreciate you taking a couple minutes to chat about all of it and looking forward to I told you I talked to Coach Burks earlier today and I told him I might be with y'all in Lafayette on Friday for that big one. And looking forward to seeing how it shakes out, whether I'm there in person or catching some of it virtually on Twitter and on the highlights.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
Good deal. Again, he's Will Campbell, one of the top prospects in the state of Louisiana for that 2022 class. He and the Neville Tigers, the number 4 seed in Class 4A, head to number 1 Carencro on Friday night for a huge state semifinal. One of the top games to watch around the state this weekend. And for Louisiana versus all y'all, Jarrett Roser.